Mhm.
All right, see, I want to move on to our last section here. This is our lightning round section where I'm going to ask you a series of questions, and these questions are meant to help our listeners and our viewers kind of see how you think, right? To kind of see
Okay.
how you think about issues, to see maybe what are some of the values in your life, and to kind of give them, in a fun and interesting way, kind of a sneak peek into your mind. And so I'll ask these questions, and then give your answer, and then we'll go from there.
Okay.
Okay, so the first question, and this is an interesting question because you've kind of done this, but I'm curious what your answer would be. See, if you could start another new business for the Hmong
Mm-hmm.
community, and let's just say you had several $1 million in the bank, you didn't have to worry a lot about financing or capital. You could start a new business for the Hmong community with a huge budget. What kind of business would you want to start, and why?
Oh, that's if I could, I've been joking with patients. You can say it's a business, but I would say um, either a Hmong medical school
Okay.
or a multidisciplinary practice where instead of just going to multiple places, you can just go to one place. In that way, if we are geared towards the Hmong population, they don't have to run all over the place, but then also get all the information there.
Wow. Now, when you
Yeah.
say Hmong medical school, you mean like medical school focused on Hmong patients?
I would say a school where they teach most things, you can say in Hmong, but also in
Mm-hmm.
English.
Uh-huh.
That way, you can say it will open up more minds of the older generation that they will understand that, okay, this is what it means, and this is why we do this, or this is why the doctor does this and not that.
Very cool. See, if you could write a fortune cookie and everybody would read it, what would you want to have written on that fortune cookie?
Oh, okay. So I've been thinking about this one, because I've listened to the one of the Wong Fu
Hmm.
Productions
Yeah.
speeches.
Uh-huh.
I love them. I would say one thing that they said was take your time, but don't waste your time. That's
Mm.
one thing that I would put on a fortune cookie.
Take your time, but don't waste your time. All
Hmm.
right, awesome. See, are there any Hmong people in your life that has had a great influence on you, whether directly as a mentor or as someone working with you, or maybe indirectly, maybe somebody you've looked up to or that has encouraged you from afar? Anyone like that in mind?
I would say my parents, because my dad was a nurse, so that's why the whole reason with the nursing. But instead, I just stayed in the medical field and became a chiropractor instead.
Mm-hmm.
And also my husband, because he was a chiropractor before I was. So those are the people that I can think about that I can mention right now that I can say have influenced me a lot.
All right.
Mhm.
See, do you have a morning routine? And if you do, what is it?
It just depends on the schedule. So because my life revolves around the clinic,
Mm-hmm.
then I just wake up, get ready, go to the clinic, treat patients, and that's it. And if it,
Oh, go ahead, finish.
and if I don't have patients, I just do paperwork.
Now, maybe I'll tweak this question a little bit related to your practice. Is there something that you do as a chiropractor, or is there something that chiropractors should do every morning when they start their day or something like that that'll kind of help them have a better day?
I would say start out with messages that are very positive.
Mm,
Just saying things like, yes, today will be a great day, or yes, I will get two new patients in today, or yes,
mm,
I am a great chiropractor.
I
That
see.
way you start out your day well and happy instead of on a bad side, because when you think good thoughts, then it usually occurs.
All right. See, what would need to happen in your life for you to say that it was successful?
I would say just helping, being able to hear patients say, yes, she has helped me
Mm,
overcome this or get better. That would be that's very nice and comforting.
mm,
That's like a good thing to hear, I would say. And just giving back to the community,
mm,
wherever you are, just giving back to the community and people knowing you, recognizing you, and saying, "Oh wow, she has helped my mother so and so
Hmm.
get better, or she has helped this person get better.
Oh, great. Um, what do you think in the next 40 years of the Hmong history here in the United States? I mean, right now we're celebrating a little over 40 years of the Hmong people in the United States. Looking towards the next 40 years coming up, what are some challenges you think we're going to face, and what are you hopeful about?
I would say just staying close to your culture, keeping your culture close and keeping it alive.
Hmm.
I feel like that's the thing because that's why I mentioned a Hmong school because sometimes I would have to admit that I don't know every Hmong medical word out there.
Hmm.
So
Yeah, yeah.
it is
Are there
a
even medical words out there in the Hmong language? Probably not, right? I mean,
it is,
yeah,
yeah, so that I would
yeah.
say that will be our um, issue in the future because sometimes um, even some patients who are Hmong, they won't know what I'm talking about when I speak Hmong,
Hmm.
but I have to speak in English. But sometimes when I have older patients who speak Hmong, there might be a word or two where they will understand what I'm talking about, but then
Hmm.
I wish there was a Hmong word, or at
Mm,
least we need to create a Hmong word
right,
for
right.
it. Hmm.
And what do
So
you hope? Oh, oh,
I think that would be the dilemma in the next 40 years of
yes,
okay, can we keep that can we keep our language in
yes.
our culture?
That's a good point. And then what are you hopeful for?
Hopeful as in terms of these
Yeah,
upcoming 40
yeah,
years.
yeah, yeah. In the 40 years, so you mentioned some
Mhm,
challenges about languages, right? And
mhm.
those are some things we should be concerned about. But what are some things that you're hopeful for that you're looking forward to in the next 40 years?
Well, I will say I'm hopeful and I am enthusiastic that there are going to be more professionals
Mm.
finishing school,
Hmm.
and I know that there are quite a few of them who do know the Hmong language really well,
Hmm.
so I hope they do continue using it and passing it along and don't just say, oh, I don't want my kids to learn it. I do hope they do push their kids to learn it because it'll just help them in the long run.
Awesome.
Mhm.
Are there any books that you've read that you'd like to recommend our viewers and listeners to read?
Oh my goodness, I've only been reading chiropractic books. I did get, oh, I haven't read it, but I am looking forward to this is kind of off topic, but The
Sure.
Bride Price, I believe.
The Bride Prize?
I think it's
Okay.
coming out.
Uh-huh.
Completely off topic, but I think that would be something nice because I try to go back to our roots, go back to our culture.
Yeah.
Just it's something that's coming out right
What?
now.
Okay, I think I can. I think I kind of. I think I get what it's about. What is the Bride Price about, and what is its focus?
Because I haven't read it, I read the reviews or the summary about it, and I think it's just about why there's a bride price.
Mhm.
And I'm thinking that maybe the controversies about it, but other than that, it's just something to
Interesting.
ponder about.
All right,
Mhm.
very cool. Um, See, my last question for you this lightning round is: what are three words that describe your life right now?
Um, I would say busy,
Mm-hmm.
um, connected,
Mm-hmm.
and I would say I don't know. I only have two.
Well,
And
let me ask you this other question then. Follow up to that. Those are some words that describe you right now, but looking kind of towards the fullness of your life, right? Towards the end, if you will. How would you want people to have described you? What words would you like them to use to describe your whole life?
I'm hoping they will say I was happy,
Mm-hmm.
I was content, happy, and I was helpful.
All right. All
Yeah,
right.
I would say those would be the three words.
Okay. Awesome. See, before we leave here, and I have had a lot of fun talking to you, and there's a lot more that we can definitely go into. But I want to give you one last opportunity, see, to share any last words, anything on your mind with our viewers. I'm thinking particularly with young college students or young Hmong working adults. Are there any last words you want to share with our listeners out there?
I would say whatever you decide to pursue, um, don't feel like that's the only thing that defines you as a person. For example, like I said, how my colleagues, there were a few who were engineers and they became chiropractors.
Mm-hmm.
You can always do more. Don't think that just because you're a lawyer that that's all you're going to be. You can always be a lawyer and a doctor and something else.
Mm-hmm.
And I would say dream. You can dream. You can, because you can do it. As long as you put your mind to it, you can do it.
All right. C, thank you so much for being on the show and sharing with us your really valuable moments. And thank you again.
Thank you. It was a pleasure.